Tectonic plates and domestic disturbances, the American empire pitifully thrashes outland and inland. Rugged landscapes hold the ragged breaths of people sheltering in abandoned warehouses, hoping that what they once knew to be a steel cage could blossom into a garden where dreams can nourish an entire community, and the only things man-made were lifelong commitments to the land and sea. The desert coughs up the last of its water, hoping the gaping mouths of the emaciated and dispossessed catch it, absorb it, remember it, and build a community with it, diametrically contrasting the Mormon settlements who once lured out her lush, with false promises of civilization and modernity dripping from their lips like honey, only to catch her in a lie like oil tar. Blighted by nothing but its own sins, the US empire is like a parasitically infested wild dog, rapidly barking at the many-headed hydra on the horizon. The bloody paws it claws at itself with, inflicted wounds, only reveal the deepness of its conceit. It is not foul rot that spills forth, but black blood, smearing the rigidly determined lines in the earth. A new meaning is given to redlining. Cherry Hill on this side, Patterson on that side. Let Cancer Alley cut through the black belt that holds us all together. Let the Watts die while the Beverleys live. The bedraggled mutt of empire's blood inks these desecrated commandments into the ground, not knowing that the Hydra is a winged dragon, far above the cut of this dying colonial world, soaring towards the heavens, westward to Canaan. The self-worshipping and self-deceit archive condescendingly sits in the throne room of the ivory tower. You have to include me. Do you even know who you are without me? Its thundering yell is fatal to the closed-off diasporic heart, a bottle cast out to sea with a note containing what to do once you arrive on Angel Island, but not a trail of kin to guide you home. The corrupt of reclamation has caused us to reclaim corruption. Do you truly want to work with the cops who, every day, take away the possibility of a childhood, a respected recess, a rejuvenating rest, a joyful summer, somewhere? How exactly do our noble beginnings grant us indemnity from the suffering we're experiencing today, under the yoke of a multicolored imperialism that does not creep around just the hollowed halls of the metropole's palace, but mobilizes the reactionary forces destabilizing Afro-Indigenous Latin America and the Afro-Caribbean? Nobles, but of unmentionable political origin. To take an inland shift means to take an inward shift, to look at the Black experience as a sprawl, playing with fire in a city, Lovecraft country, otherwise known as where the wild things are, where a smacked upside the head police officer's vermilion mouth reminds us of the jambalaya mama used to make, where the devil wears Prada but stinks of sulfur, where the angel wears work-soiled khakis but smells of clementines, fragrant borderlands, tantalizing otherwises, freedom so close you could almost taste it. One day, the concrete jungle will not pour asphalt directly into the wound. One day, grief's damnable tint will not warrant neurotic intellectual scrubbing. Black boy dies, it's necropolitics, or maybe hood politics, or maybe the racialized, gendered, hegemonic, capitalist, consumerist, obstructionist, godforsaken welfare warfare state, or maybe, just maybe, it's natural causes. Maybe kisses don't rain in multitudes from their dusty Baptist mouths. Maybe he's vindicated, brought back to life, risen 3 days after his wrongful entombing. Maybe he's not known by cornbread and hymnals, but his name, a color he hates besides the blood-fat skies after too late of a night outside on the streets. All he would want from a world if it would do what he asked. They called me a dreamer for this, the unacknowledged peacekeeper of the world struggling to make two ends of the spectrum meet. Wrong. The way we live now, letting federal necromancers seed plague across vast acres of the land, choking schools and churches in motley toxins of grief, and having the cowardly gall to call it unprecedented times. This is blight, contagion, the scheming work of the invisible hand, the war to end lives with impunity and patterned profit ceaselessly. The Black interior is preparing to fight a war. I am living in the umpteenth century of these wars. I have chosen to fight to the end like Dylan chose guerrilla intellectualism, like Osuna chose class suicide, like the Black chose to be unruly, to be restless but not directionless, to grow in commitment, numbers, and persistence, to imaginatively mediate on what it could be and all that is not lost, to be something so precious that is never a matter of being stealable or shootable or fuckable or destructible or usable or chokeable or jailable or killable, but alive. Even if only this one is ours, I will be able to gaze calmly into the wrecked science of world building. How gorgeously a new dawn breaks.